No.
What?
Hey,
Are you talking?
it's me.
Oh,
What a
chicken.
sunny. Oh yeah.
Cut the. No big.
Oh yeah.
Mr.
Oh, very much.
Isn't that?
Yes. Nice bunk.
Well.
All right, mister. Nice bunker.
Well.
All right, mister.
I'm not as. I'm not as. Everybody knows, Mr.
Only a.
Look,
All right, Mr. West. Has your. Wessler's a trick. How did you feel when you heard about the blackmail?
Honestly, I found it ridiculous.
And now?
Now I'm kind of interested.
Good point.
Thank you. Are we done?
No, not quite.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You seem a very busy man. May I ask what you do? Would you elaborate?
I got a small share in the meat.
You mean reduce predation?
There are such plans, if you're...
Thank you. That's it for now. How are your alibis, Mr.
Am I a suspect? That was fast.
No need. And no, you're not a...
That's,
Wessler is tougher than I thought. And... Were there any similar incidents in Natasha's past? I mean, threats, blackmail, enemies, or insane fans. Psychopath pianists, perhaps.
I don't know about enemies, but she's a celebrity. A star shining bright in Clover's night sky. Do you understand? She gets endless fan mail. It could be anybody. I wouldn't overreact.
Natasha doesn't feel that way.
I've noticed.
Do you think one of her fans is the culprit? Someone who can't take rejection?
Why not? It's quite common.
It's a typical motive, indeed. Any idea?
Yeah. Attorney General Hamtaro is obsessed with it.
I get it. The mob boss and the push.
Huh? Are you trying to piss me?
A simple answer would...
You know, Natasha.
You don't remember?
Ah, yeah. The millions, of course.
I guess she was...
The next day, she had the club.
Well, that is romantic.
Yeah, there are many kinds of romance, Birdman. Yeah.
Do you live in the same house as...
Oh, you're really something. Natasha's a...
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah, if you say.
So Natasha feels like she's in grave danger, yet she...
Yeah, I know.
Always...
Yeah.
So... Thank you for your time. We'll be seeing you.
I have no doubt about.
Hey, we should, grab a coffee or something, Olivia.
Pleasure to meet you, gentlemen.
Oh,
Please, take a seat. The show's...
That was...
Ibn.
I knew she was trouble the first time I saw her. She wore danger like a perfume. It was simply part of her being, and it attracted me, like light attract the moth people. I wanted to be the microphone as she whispers her melodies, or the pillow she rests her feet on while reading some cheap romance. I wanted to be her nightdress, barely touching, barely covering her marble skin. But I was a cop, and a lifetime wouldn't be enough to rid myself of what a woman like her hides under her makeup. Keep your distance, Sonny. Just keep your distance. Bet you spend a lot of your time staring into the mirror. Do you even recognize yourself?
Maybe you were trying to be rude, but, you know, that's a very good question.
I was just trying to be rude.
Oh, really? Well, then I'm sorry.
Don't mention it. Gee, that is a, unique picture, and kind of daring. I admit I've never seen anything quite like it before.
Yes, I admit it's a little daring. I keep it. It evokes good memories. A precious old friend of mine. A most wonderful artist.
He's got an eye, that's for sure, considering his model.
Was that supposed to be some kind of compliment?
I don't know. I don't compliment often. Not on purpose, anyway.
Oh, you're funny.
This woman's a... So this is where the...
Every woman...
You're right there. This woman's a... This woman's aware of her charm, and she knows how to use it. A rare and dangerous combination.
How do you like your bourbon, Mr. Featherland?
In a glass. But thanks, I had a couple before I came. I feel like this may be a long night.
I hope it doesn't bother you if I have one myself.
I get offended if women don't drink in my company.
Oh, you are a funny guy.
So I've been told. Anyway, lovely room.
Yes. Look, Mr. Featherland.
It's sunny. Saves us a lot of time.
Okay, Sonny.
So, why am I here?
You know, men tend to babble in my presence.
It must be exhausting.
It is. But you're not the type to beat around the bush.
Is it too banal if I tell you it's an occupational hazard?
Terribly.
So can I start the unpleasant questions?
I've asked you here so you can do.
Really? I thought you asked because you wanted me to investigate for you. But if you'd rather be drinking...
You do have a sense of humor. How reassuring.
Only if I'm a bit hungover. That's usually quite common.
Oh, please drop the act about being the alcoholic, heartbroken ex-cop, Sonny. It would undoubtedly suit you, but I've seen you scanning my room. From the second you set foot in here, you started working, and everything I say gets sorted in your brain. Am I right?
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, it's something like that.
Well then, Sonny, come at me.
Oh, that's something I don't hear often. With pleasure. Seriously, how...
Although I didn't include Ibn in my little private mission.
Yeah, let me guess. There's someone at the station working for him.
Someone? You're so cute when you're playing naive.
Have you ever had dealings with the police?
Not in this city.
And otherwise?
Does it really matter, Mr. Featherland?
Maybe it does. More than a little.
I'm afraid you'll have to unravel that thread yourself. But you will find nothing but a dead end.
Natasha is a confident woman. I can exploit that. But I must be careful. Every part of her oozes danger. That was a remarkable performance.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Do you perform here frequently? You're also the owner, if I'm not mistaken.
Sadly, I don't have the time, but the stage still calls my name, and I perform just a few times a year, and always with a new song.
So that was all the excitement.
I have many admirers, if that's what you mean. Yes.
The place is very elegant, and so's your room.
Why, thank you.
I kind of feel like I'm in a museum.
Well, that depends on the kind of museum.
The kind with nice things.
Oh.
Suspiciously nice things, just like you.
Do you think I'm suspicious?
We'll see about that.
Try me.
Do you think one of your admirers might be behind the threats?
Those who admire me usually idolize me. No, I don't think it's one of them.
You know, the soul of an animal is extremely complicated. Sometimes all it takes is a bad look or some small rejection to turn admiration into hate.
That's a stillborn theory. No one hates me if they once loved me, Mr. Detective.
Ah, I see. Do you have any material evidence concerning the threats?
You may think I'm irresponsible, but I didn't keep any of it. I simply couldn't bear to look at them.
Didn't you think maybe the police would need it?
I didn't think I needed the police. Moreover, do you think the girlfriend of Ibn Wessler could ever turn to the cops?
I see. So, what about me? How do I come into the picture?
It sounds ridiculous, but you're my last hope.
That does sound ridiculous, but I accept. My ego and old habits.
You can't do anything else, can you?
Something like that. A leopard can't change its spots. Deep behind the diamond skin lies the truth. It doesn't matter how hard Natasha's trying to hide it. She's scared. Now I must concentrate to finally find out what I want to know. What was in those threats, exactly?
The message itself is not a threat. It's just a word.
But a word again and again is threatening.
Exactly.
So?
You really don't have any idea which word could be used for a woman like me?
I guess I do. Yes, I think I know what it could be.
Whore. Cat got your tongue? Am I right? You heard it. I said what you were thinking. And yes, that was in the message. That was printed on the paper and painted on my wall in giant red letters.
Well, thank you for your honesty. What about Fillmore? Is he here because of you?
Mr. Lowe helped me before, and yes, he was the first I approached.
You've managed to curb my enthusiasm a little.
Doesn't keeping 2 irons in the fire give me a better chance? But you don't have to worry. He didn't find anything. And he's not interested anymore, no matter how much I offer to pay him.
Why?
You'll have to ask him.
I think I'll do that. A dark shadow from the past? An ex-lover? A husband, maybe?
I'm surprised you asked that just now.
Well, I have my habits. Some call my methods peculiar.
What a curious way to put it.
I'm a curious kind of fellow. So?
I've never been married, and I don't really have any serious relationship before Hobart.
A more dangerous, not serious relationship, maybe?
I've never been with anyone long enough for them to hate me.
Love is just another face of hate.
So is hate a face of love, then?
I guess. Were you on the run?
No, Mr. Featherland. I came to Clawville with a clean slate, and I'd like to believe it will stay that way.
You mean as the girlfriend of Ibn Wessler, the biggest mob boss in Clawville? Yeah, good luck with that. Natasha is a mysterious woman, but I must gouge out at least one of her secrets. Enough games. It's time to know why I'm here. Let's stop beating about the bush. How do you know Molly?
I'm prepared for that question, but it's still not easy.
You knew very well that if you threw in the name of my wife, I'd come to you no matter how vague and suspicious the case was. I just want to know if you're simply a manipulator or you're really that desperate.
I really know her. I'm not lying.
Oh, really? How? Were you a nurse, too? Forgive me, but I don't think so.
Don't be rude and so cynical.
I'm sorry, but that's me when feline claws are at my throat.
Molly is an old and good friend of mine. She has nothing to do with this, but I knew that if I didn't mention it to you, you wouldn't have come.
Yeah, Natasha, you're right there.
I knew you were a decent fowl, that you would help me. That's what you're famous for.
Don't go there. Flattery doesn't work.
Look, forgive me. I shouldn't have brought your wife into this.
You're right, you shouldn't have. But to be honest, I don't think she's my wife anymore. On paper she is, but I haven't seen her in years.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Really?
I did. I knew. I checked you out before I sent Deborah.
Cluck me. This case is getting more and more intriguing. You played me from the start.
It wasn't my intent.
I'm an old cock, Natasha. I've played too many of these games, and I've been on the losing side.
So, you're going to walk away?
You're damn right. I don't know if it's worth it for me.
Look, Sonny, money's not an issue.
Oh yeah, your fawn had already mentioned that. But unfortunately, it'll be hard to spend all that dough when I'm dead.
Dead? Don't even say...
Do you have a gun?
Me?
Of course you, Natasha. Do you have it on you?
Not at the moment.
Well, let me give you some advice. Keep it with you, always. Maybe in your purse.
You don't think they, whoever they are, would hurt me?
Don't be naive, Natasha.
You're right. I'll keep it with me.
I don't want to scare you, but 2 cops snooping around can mess something like this up, even if it's just 2 roosters.
You'll keep snooping? Thank you, Sonny.
Maybe you're getting yourself into even deeper trouble with me. Thank me when this is all over. Natasha, that was a remarkable performance. The place is... Do you think one of you... Do you have any material evidence concerning deep behind the diamond skin? What was in those threats? Exactly. No one's ever seen the culprit? Not even a shadow?
That's one of the most curious things. Even has men everywhere. Literally, my shadows, ghosts in every alley. But no one saw anything.
One of them could be the culprit.
Ibn pays his animals well, and he's the most dangerous man in the city. A combination that nullifies your theory, I believe?
Maybe, ma'am. Love is capable of insane...
What poetry? Did you ever think about writing a book?
Never. I'm afraid I'd learn too much about myself.
Maybe that's the point. I would read about you. Not like the chicken police Pulp Fiction.
Furry hell. Do you read that trash?
Like everyone else in the city.
Oh, great.
I think it's flattering, even as badly written tales of heroes.
You enjoy it?
Well, just a little, Sonny. Just a little.
A dark shadow from the past?
I'm surprised you asked.
Well, I have my habits.
What a curious way to...
I'm a curious kind of
I've never been married.
A more dangerous, not serious relationship, maybe?
I've never been with anyone long enough for them to...
Love is...
So is hate...
Natasha is a Let's stop. You played...
Just one more thing, Sonny.
Natasha?
Please, come to 37 Rochester Street in Flower Town tonight. I'd like to show you something that could be of a great help in your investigation.
I was afraid this was coming. Why there? Why not here and now?
It's something I keep hidden there. I won't take the risk of Ibn or one of his men seeing it.
Isn't Ibn too dangerous to keep secrets from?
Sonny, a woman is naked without her secrets. I knew you would understand.
Oh yeah, I understand everything. So, when do we meet? The night is almost over.
I'll be there in an hour. Don't be early, and don't be too late.
Look, Natasha, you know...
Please, this is very important to me.
Sure, I get it. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Until later, Natasha.
Goodbye, Sonny.
Do you have a...
I'm sorry.
Really? That's very...
It was uncommon in all my previous lines of work, too. But I promised that...
I might take...
No trouble at all.
Do you have a...
Really? It was...
Why did you name it the Tsar Club when you took over? It was the Millions before.
Maybe you can guess my origins from my name and my accent. I come from the eastern Tsardom of Slavonia. We are quite respectful of our leaders.
Do you feel that's not the case here in Clawville?
Here? No. Absolutely not, Mr. Featherland. Many here don't even know the name of their king. To them, he's only the Fox King. It's quite disrespectful and rude.
There's some truth to that.
Where I'm from, we choose our leaders ourselves. And whatever they do later, we proudly stand by our decision.
So that's why the name, in respect to your country.
Don't take me for so sentimental. It's only partly the reason. We lived there until I was 14. Then we had to flee. It doesn't matter why. In the end, I was the only one who made it to Clawville. So the name isn't because of nostalgia or respect. More like a reminder.
So, why?
I could not seek you out in person. It was risky even to send Debbie.
It's too late now. Mr. Wessler is aware of my little investigation.
I'm sorry I got her mixed up in this. She's a lovely girl.
She looked like one. May I be brash?
It's New Year's Eve. Everything goes tonight.
Ivan, do you love him?
In my own way.
Whatever that means.
You can't understand this, Sonny. There are women who can't actually love. Not like they're supposed to. But that doesn't mean they don't love however they can.
That's not a real answer, is it?
If you only accept yes or no, then yes, I love him.
So this message...
I'm sorry I had to upset you, Sonny. But if I didn't take that step, would we be talking here right now?
Well, probably I'd be dead drunk and counting sheepmen in my dreams.
I'm good for you, you see?
Yeah. You're a real angel. Why just me? What's wrong with my partner?
Nothing in the world. I just like to be discreet. I wanted to talk to you in private because of...
Thank you for your discretion.
Don't mention it.
So, who's this
I know well what you're curious about. You want to know if she's sleeping with Ibn.
The thought may have crossed my mind.
You men. But guess what?
You don't care?
As long as he loves me, I don't.
Well, that's your business. What do you know about her?
She's not the one threatening me. You can be sure of that. I know that was your next thought. The lovesick assistant is jealous of the boss's girlfriend and wants to flick her out of the picture.
That was so honest and raw, I'm inclined to believe it. Weren't you supposed to be waiting in the car?
I was bored to tears, Sonny. I also thought maybe something happened to you.
You thought Natasha had eaten me alive.
Well, who knows? You're such a fragile little thing.
I'm too old for this, Marty.
Then next time, leave the dangerous predators to me.
I didn't mean that, Marty. I meant you.
Oh.
What a lovely kitten. Excuse me, pal. My name is Santino.
Gabriel, what do you want? Chickens.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Wessler went?
Do you take me for a fool? Get out of here while I'm in a good mood, birds.
Okay. Listen, pal.
Did I stutter, chicken? Get...
Listen, pal.
Remember that other cape?
Oh, gosh, Marty, where do you dig these out?
My mind is a bottomless pit, my friend.
His dealer, actually.
Ah, yeah, you're right. We found the rabbit near the river with a missing leg. Brutal stuff.
2 missing legs, actually. But yeah.
What happened with the turtle in the end? It's a little bit blurry.
Your bottomless pit of a mind is a dark and sad little place. The turtle thought he would run faster if he ate the legs of the rabbit.
You know what? This city's seriously fucked up.
It is, Marty.
Remember that...
Oh, gosh.
My mind...
His dealer.
Ah,
2 missing.
what happened?
Your bottom...
You know what?
It is, Marty.
Remember that...
What happened?
Ah, this is the...
He looks like... I try.
Ah,
He looks... I try. Wessler's secretary.
Olivia Blackwig. You think she...
It's worth a try, Marty, but let me do the talking. She's not very fond of you.
What can I say? You know, back in the day, I flew from tree to tree. I was a free bird. Maybe I was playing her.
Oh, it's you. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Look, we really don't want to dig into your personal life, but
what exactly is my relationship with Mr. Wessler? And how close am I to him?
you don't beat around the bush, ma'am.
Well, actually, I remember.
I don't have time to chit-chat, Mr. Featherland. So yes, I'm not one to beat around the bush. And no, I'm not sleeping with Mr. Wessler.
Well, thanks for the quick and straight answer.
Anything else?
Listen, pal.
Did I stutter, chicken?
Look,
Please, Marty, there's no need.
yes, there is. I know
You don't have to explain. I wasn't waiting long for your call.
that's good to hear.
I'm sorry.
Not at all. Have a nice evening.
I'm sorry.
Not at all.
Do you come here often, Olivia?
No, not really.
Well, okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. You know, Ibn's not as ferocious as you'd think. On the contrary, he's become very different recently.
I heard. Don't you find that weird? A sudden change of heart?
Sometimes an animal just has enough. Fed up and wants a change. I deeply respect that.
Well, thank you for your honesty, ma'am. What's your relationship with Miss Natasha?
We've talked a bit. that's all.
There's no tension between you? You know, the pretty secretary.
Oh, thank you for your compliment, Mr. Featherland. No, no tension. Natasha's an intelligent woman.
Is that mutual?
That I can't tell.
If I'm not mistaken, Natasha has a weekend house in Flowerville.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell me anything about it?
I've never been there. Allegedly, it's beautiful. Elegant and luxurious. Just like Natasha herself.
I'm sorry we...
Not at all.
Listen, pal.
Creepy little... Isn't that Fillmore standing over there at the...
You're right. Had time to say hi.
So, have you talked to Natasha?
In fact, yes. She was, kind of mysterious.
I bet she was. You know, I've never abandoned a case before. Not voluntarily, anyway. But that woman...
You're, too old for this shit, huh?
As you say, pal.
That's exactly how I felt, too.
Before you leave, take this and examine it closely.
What is it?
Reason I've decided all of this is not worth it for me.
Wow, that sounds encouraging.
Take care of yourselves, guys. This case, maybe it goes deeper than you'd think.
Oh, that makes my feathers stand on end.
Ah, old croakers. You're safe while I'm here. Okay, I didn't say anything.
Take care of you.
You're one.
Take care of yourself, old...
You're one. The truth is, Ibn's a dirty bastard, but he's likable. It must be his charisma that snared Natasha.
Maybe there's more to it than simple wild love.
Who knows? Animals commit the dirtiest of deeds for wild love.
You've got a point.
Wonderful girl. Either I'm gonna kill her or I'm beginning to like her.
That's funny. I swear I've heard that before.
To be honest, me too.
So, Natasha invited us to her weekend house.
That's either very good news or very bad news.
50%. That's not that bad, is it?
That's an admirable attitude.
Attitude, yeah, he's got that. Most of the time, I think that's all he's got.
Hey,
Who is this woman anyway? She's like Ibn's shadow. Nobody knows anything about her.
I don't know if she has anything to do with the case, but it's worth keeping an eye on her anyway.
More women, more trouble.
You already fantasizing.
Even the sight of young women make me tired. Anyway, most people say she's the rat's lover too. But next to Natasha, I doubt he'd want her. Anyway, the pussycat would have already torn her to shreds.
Could be. Take care of yourself. Molly. Come to we stepped into it, didn't we? Of all that's furry, what kind of a list is this?
Exactly. I have no idea, but I don't even want to find out.
those names, all top dogs. Maybe they play cards together.
Sure, that's very likely. Anyway, I pried this list out of a dead man's hand. Somebody dropped him outside the forest, a few miles from the Wessler residence.
I should have known she was keeping secret.
Keeping secrets? She's the secret herself.
Thanks, Philmar. This...
Don't thank me. Maybe I've just...
Oh, thank you, sir.
Oh, shut up, Marty.
Calling booze darling, it's kind of weird, don't you think?
Says someone who calls his gun collection his hurry.
Touché.
Good birdie. Hey, Big Nose. Have a good night, Long. Have a good night. What a love... Listen, pal. I'm sorry...
I don't know, Sonny. What exactly are we doing here?
Let's hope we can learn something about Natasha and Ibn by sniffing around before we visit that weekend house in Flowerville.
Learn something from Phyllis and Roy's.
Well, I wasn't exactly thinking about them.
Yeah, figures. There's a theory that the Foundation War was a hoax? That the reptiles deliberately kept in the background, but in reality, they're the ones controlling the city from the underground even now.
What? Where did you hear that? I'd never heard such sheep shit before.
I read it in Tomorrow's Word. That's a pretty prestigious newspaper.
I wouldn't use that trash to wipe my cloaca, Marty. It'll rot your brain.
Well, at least I read something other than the labels on liquor bottles.
Hey, that was a bit below the belt.
Yep, but true.
You got me.
beautiful crest.
Yeah, it is. Just like the city.
It's a very...
Yeah, it is. Good old Bosco's slowly...
Sure. You remember when he was just a little green lapdog? For a while, we even had to babysit him.
He always was a talented little pooch, I have to admit. But the filth that seeped into everything in Clawville has reached him, too.
It reaches everyone one way or another, right?
One way or another, it does, Marty. You had a fight once, didn't you? At one of the winter's...
Yeah, we both drank too much. It was over a...
I haven't seen many fights that memorable in my...
Yeah, and the girl didn't go with you.
She was a wise manatee.
Is it worth talking?
Who knows? Maybe he heard something.
Is it worth...
Who knows? Do you still remember Philmar?
Do you mean Philip? Of course I remember. He's got quite the reputation with that Philmar alias.
We just met him. Small world, huh? Do you know what he's up to these days?
Yeah, as far as I know, he's investigating petty blackmail cases and sneaking after poor bastards cheating on their wives.
Anything else? Did he get mixed up in something that stirred up a storm recently?
Yeah, I don't know about that. We haven't seen him at the PD for a while. He's usually a frequent visitor. Why?
Possible, Bosco. But I'm not sure he'd want to make the same mistake.
Wise decision.
Listen, Bosco, what do you make of this list?
Maybe it's the guest list of some fancy ball. These are some rather influential names, the ones I recognize anyway. Movie stars, politicians, a few names from the Council of 12 even, if I'm not mistaken.
You're not.
Are you blackmailing them? Because if you are, I'll gladly accept a nice big juicy bone in exchange for my silence.
Stop screwing around, Bosco.
Which is what, exactly?
We're still not gonna tell you.
Listen, Bosco, what have you heard about that singer?
You mean that little bimbo fooling around with Ibn Wessler? They say she's the jackpot, but I've never been into cats yet.
You couldn't be more racist if you tried, Bosco.
Don't misunderstand me. I don't have a problem with cats at all. I'm simply allergic to them. I can't stand being around them. I don't even...
Good for you. I should have used that excuse myself.
Why? Is your investigation related to her?
What? No, of course not. We just came from her show. That's why I asked.
And what's she like?
Well, I guess your cat allergy would go away for the rest of your life if you met her.
Really? Maybe I'll have a go and see for myself one day.
So soon? That was fast.
Sorry, Mon. We're just here for a little,
When are you not here for that, boys? How about wish me a happy birthday for a change?
What? Is it your birthday today?
Of course not. Don't be silly, Marty. You know exactly when it is. We've talked...
Yeah, of course I know.
Yeah.
So, could you help us?
Of course, boys, but be quick about it. I'm in over my head with paperwork and blood boils breathing down my neck.
We'll be quick like a hurricane.
You're very lucky.
Still can't hold his lick.
Neither on or off duty. But
Well, he's a water buffalo, isn't he?
No, Sonny, just a buffalo.
Listen, doll, we have...
make it quick, boys, and
Guess who we met today? In person, Mon.
King Hector III?
Even better. The one who commands the king.
Wait a minute. Hobart Westlook?
Damn right. Hobart Ibn Wet.
Wow. And you're still alive. That's quite an...
But seriously, have you heard that he wants to get out of the black market business? Allegedly, he's trying to clear his name with some kind of...
His name's gonna be rather difficult to clear.
It's a heroic and impossible venture.
I haven't heard about it, but it's an interesting addition to what I know.
Which is?
Ibn's been acting very strange lately, and he left most of his business dealings to one of his goons, Mickey. Also known as the Butcher, the Mongrel, and the Slayer.
Yeah, we once had the pleasure of meeting him.
That's all I know, boys. I know it's not very much, but it's something, I guess.
Thanks, Mon. Listen, Mon, a reliable old friend shoved this into my hand. Could you take a quick glance at it?
Quite an imposing list. What could...
That's what we were thinking too, and we got nowhere. But you see a lot of documents. So
Unfortunately not, boys. The names are imposing indeed, but based on this, it could be almost anything. The richest of the rich get together on all kinds of excuses.
it must be a secret cult.
It could be, of course, but also anything else. I'm sorry I couldn't help you more.
Ah, don't mention it, Mon. Thanks for your time.
Or... wait a minute.
Stop teasing us.
I'm sure you've noticed that all the names in the list are men, right?
Yeah, of course.
Thanks for the observation.
Don't mention it. I'm just a receptionist.
We saw a pretty good show at the Czar Club tonight.
Good for you, I guess. Natasha?
Natasha. She performed her new song. She also sang about why she called us there.
And?
That's confidential, Dollface. Anyway, I can't help wondering about that woman. Her past is a mystery, and I couldn't draw much out of her in person either.
Women like her always have something to hide, Sonny. I think that's exactly what makes men fall head over heels for them.
I know another broad who's all mysterious.
Oh yeah? What's her name? I'll look her up if we have a file on her.
Marty, shut up.
Oh, you mean...
All mysterious, full of secrets, and grace.
I didn't even hear that, Marty.
Do we have a file on a woman called Olivia Blackwig? She's currently working as Ibn Wessler's...
We don't have a file on her, but there are a few Blackwigs that could be related to her. Mountain Goat,
Crow, around 30 to 35.
Maybe we have a catch then. Theodore Blackwig was a rather influential banker until he went bankrupt. He died a few years back, but his daughter could have ended up in the same social circles as Ibn.
And since they lost their money, she took a job as his assistant.
Yeah, it would fit the picture. But it's a big city, Sonny. There may be more than one Crow family with a Blackwig name living here.
Thanks.
I'm glad I could help, boys, as always. If it doesn't take a lot of my time, that is.
We know. We're not even here.
Officer Barkman.
Ooh, a nice cup of coffee a la Zip, huh?
We're not here for the coffee, Marty. Zip always knows more than what he lets on. It'd be worth interrogating the old trash panda.
If he forgave us for wrecking his joint last time.
He'll never forgive us, Marty, but we helped him out of trouble so many times, he's not...
I hope you're right, old bird. everything all right?
Ah, jeez, boys. Out of 2,000 joints in the city, had to end up here, huh?
Hello to you too, Zip. How's it hanging?
I had no problems, until now.
Ah, don't be such a drama queen. We just want to ask you a couple of questions, then we're out of here.
And we won't even trash your place this time. What do you say?
I say let's get it over with very, very quickly, chickens.
Relax, pal. We'll be as fast as a hummingbird.
I'm not your pal, and you're as far from a hummingbird as I'm from a polar bear.
Oh, come on, Zip. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Damn it, what's the scribbler doing here?
Sniffing some juicy story?
I think I still owe him a great big left hook.
What did he do this time?
Oh, nothing. Just since I first met him, I wanted to punch him in the face.
I can understand that.
We don't have to talk to him, right?
Impossible to avoid, Marty. Not if he hasn't gone blinded. Timothy Saltwater is the meddler journalist of the Clawville Chronicle. That wouldn't be a problem in itself, but unfortunately, he's a huge... Hello, Timothy. Scribblers don't celebrate New Year's.
Hello, boys. What a pleasure to see you. Answering your question, no, not really. Not me, anyway.
Mm-hmm. And where's the story now?
It just stepped through the door, pal.
Oh, you mean us? Well, I think I'll have to disappoint you.
The chicken police are back together? I can't let that go without an ink stain, am I right?
No, Timmy, you can. We're not working. We're just having a little fun.
I'm not buying that.
You'll have to, Tim.
We'll see about that.
Is that rag you work for still around?
You mean the most read and highest ranking newspaper of the city, the Clawville Chronicle?
Oh, yeah, that's what it...
I see that you still have your famous sense of humor, Sonny. Such a joy.
Yeah.
So, how about you tell me what you're...
Not a chance, Timbo. The truth is, we're all...
Sorry, pal. Maybe next time.
So...
Not a...
Sorry, pal. Gods.
Well, Marty, aging is like that.
What? Who, me? Don't make me laugh.
Yeah, sure. I can see we're not particularly...
I wonder why. I wonder why.
So, out with it. Stop whining.
We've just come from the Tsar Club, Zip.
If I can guess one, I'd say, was it His Majesty Hobart Ibn...
Bet on, pal.
What a surprise. So, what do you want to know? Just because I don't know anything.
Of course you don't. Just a couple questions.
Go on, boys. Hurry up, will you?
What's up, Zip? Quiet night, I see. And what's Timothy?
That's exactly what I asked him when he wound up here. But yeah, he's a regular nowadays. He must be sniffing some kind of story.
About the riots? Have they reached here?
I ain't seen nothing. More cops around, yeah.
We're not on duty, Zip.
It's still the same. A cop's a cop. A lot come by. But besides beating up bugs, nothing much.
It will, Zip. I can...
If you say so, Sonny, your sense of smell.
Maybe once.
Huh? What more do you want?
Is it forbidden?
Go stand around somewhere else in the city. Huh? What more?
Look what we found, Zip.
Furry hell. Who'd you beat to death for that?
Beat to death? Who do you think we are? We simply confiscated it.
You sneaky broilers. I'll give you $50 for it.
Don't make me laugh. It's worth 3 times that.
Oh, come on. Give me a break.
Tough luck, Trash Panda.
We also ran into Filmar.
Filmar? Who's that?
A grumpy old raggedy-ass hawk. His manners are even worse than mine. Ring a bell?
You mean Marlowe?
Was Marlowe. Now he goes by Filmar Lowe.
Oh, I see. So that means he's still alive? Yeah, I'm almost not surprised. The old guy has a reputation of being indestructible, huh?
He is. And he gave us something that could mean something. You didn't get any.
You're telling.
To be honest,
You will win.
And what are your?
Of course. You got
A couple.
You know what? Your mother's a...
Look at this.
Holy crap, what's this? The guest list at a king's birthday party.
Hey, that's not even a bad guess.
What do you make of it?
This piece of paper's from so high up where I've never been myself, boys. So don't ask me.
You didn't get any.
You're telling.
To be honest. And what are you?
Of course.
A couple.
You know what?
We spoke to Natasha.
Well, it's not good life insurance to be the girl of the most powerful gangster in this...
It's not about that. Someone's been writing offensive messages to her.
I only know that every second husband in the city wants to have her, and every second wife wants to wring her neck because of that.
Thanks, Zip. But we're not any further ahead.
But not further back, right?
Well, if there's one thing I'd learned during 20 years of detective work, it's that if someone wants to meet you at a remote location at night, you should bring an army for backup. One time, me and Marty were stupid enough to underestimate a situation like that, and we never really recovered. And yet, here we were again, about to step alone into something hauntingly familiar. Only one tactic remained, as the old dogs say. Balls to the wall.
This place gives me the creeps.
I wouldn't say I like it either.
Let's take a look around before we go inside.
Textbook.
I'm telling you, it's a trap.
Shut up, Marty.
So, this is the word. What can I say? The message is loud and clear.
Yeah, what matters is who is it for and what does it mean?
I can't misunderstand that if I wanted to.
We'll see.
Wait a second, did that bimbo put a spell on you? As you used to say, don't let it cloud your objective judgment, Boss Bird.
Watch who you're talking to, boy.
You wrote that down?
It burned into my mind.
You wrote that down?
It burned into my...